This video is going to cover some very simple but extremely useful tools: the date range tool, the price range tool, and the date and price range tool. So we're going to add these to our favorites here so you can see them. They each have the stars here: date range, price range, date and price range. These are ways where you can measure trading activity, time frames, and price action really quickly. Let's jump right to it. We'll do date range first. So let's say you are looking at a chart and you want to measure the time from one point to the next. All you have to do is head over to your prediction and measurement tools, click to open the menu, select date range. Now find a starting point, say this is the breakout you want to measure, click, and then move your mouse to the ending point, and you could keep it wherever you want on the chart or extend it up or down. In this case, we'll extend it up to the price. And what we've done here is we've now shown ourselves this breakout that we've highlighted that starts here, that ends here, has lasted for 83 days. So you can measure this price action really quickly. Date range tool, click, find a starting point, find an ending point, and click again. And why would you want to do this? Well, let's go through a few more examples of why you may want to do this. One great way is to say to yourself, I want to measure how long something has been in a bull market or in a bear market. So if you pay close attention to this chart, you see that the lows were here, and then it started to make higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So there was a very clear uptrend. It was in a bull market. This is the NASDAQ 100 QQQ. And what we can do now is take the date range tool. We can click that starting point. Let's start from here. Go all the way to where it seems to have ended. And now we can see 148 days. And that's important because now we know how long this bull market lasted, 148 days. And what we can do now is click and drag this on the chart to try to project out into the future. Well, if this were to happen again, how long could we expect this to last? So what we've done is we've dragged this tool out to the current point in time. Actually, we'll drag it here to the lows. And we can see now, well, if this is the start, if this bottom here is the start of another move, we can expect it to potentially, if it's like the last bull market that just happened, continue on a similar pattern for 146 days or 101 bars. So that is one way you can use this tool. And don't forget, there are multiple other ways. You could also go down, and this works on any asset class, by the way, from Forex to stocks to crypto, and you could go to any time frame. Maybe you are looking at a 30-minute chart, and what you want to do is measure something that happened on a 30-minute chart. How long did it consolidate from this starting point until this breakout? Looks like about 22 hours. And now you have that information. And you could even start to do your own little quick back testing where you click a starting point and an ending point, 18 hours. And you're not doing an exact science back test, but what you're doing is you are getting a feel for how long, say in this example, some of these sideways moves last, and then you're using that to make better decisions going forward because you're essentially now understanding how long this asset might trend sideways if it happens. So that's one way you can use the date range tool. And let's move on to the next really important tool. It's the price range tool. This is so important. Let's get right to it. So same thing, prediction and measurement tools. Click to open this menu, click price range. Now what you're going to do with the price range tool is measure the price change of any asset from one starting point to the next. See how fast that was? This is a fantastic tool for gauging trends, breakouts, breakdowns, anything that you're interested in on the chart. Okay, let's get right to it. Click price range, find a starting point, then drag the tool up to its ending point and click again. And now what we've noticed here is from this point in time here to this point in time here, it's up 1.11%. And what we can also do with this handy tool is we can actually double click or open its settings, and we can even adjust the look and feel of it. In this case, let's change it more to a teal background. Let's make it slightly lighter. And for the line, we will add a darker line, and that line shows that it's moving up. You see the arrow here. And one more thing we'll say about this tool before we finish this up, and this is really important, is you can also extend it left or extend it right or extend it all the way across your chart. But anyways, we've just changed the settings of the tool, and we'll do a few more examples. Why don't we go over now to a chart of crude oil futures? So we're showing that these tools work across all time frames and all asset classes. So why don't we have some fun now? So we have this chart open of crude oil, and as you can see, this orange dotted line is actually our alert. We've made an alert. And we can use this price range tool to really quickly measure the distance from the current price to our alert. Looks like it's 4.5% higher. Conversely, if we want to measure it going down, we click and drag down, and it's about 4.99%. So our alert will trigger after about a 4.85% move. And that's how you can use the price range tool. And there's way more ways to use it than just that, by the way. Here's a great example. You could measure this move here. See this sell-off. And you can measure it up to its high. And you could say that was a 22% move. And you could measure from here to its high, 14% move. You can measure from this point here to about its high, 23% move. And what you're doing here is you're saying, how well does this asset perform off of its lows? So this was the low, and then this was the low, and then this was the low. And you're starting to just learn more about how the asset moves and its percentage gains. And then that way in the future, when you spot a similar pattern or want to plan a trade, you can possibly use this to your advantage. You could say, well, the last time this asset set up like this, it moved 23%. So what you could do is model it into the future, drag that exact price range over, and see here's how that could look. And actually what's interesting about this is it would actually bring us right back to these highs here, or just actually right here at the top of the wick here. So that's the price range tool. And also one more thing about the price range tool that's really helpful is you can just simply use the price range tool too, just to study price action, whether it's drawdowns, corrections, crashes. You can go back in time and study all of this. So you can quickly measure minus 5%, click again from the bottom, go up to this high, and that was plus 8%. You can study history really quickly. And as a great example, we can go to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And this was the notorious coronavirus crash. So this is when the coronavirus happened, or COVID-19, sorry. And as you can see, it's the Dow crashed. Well, if you want to study market history, if you want to see the extent of this move, you can go to your prediction and measurement tools and use the date range and price range tools to go study what happened. And lastly, there is the date and price range tool, which combines date range and price range into one tool. So watch this. We select date and price range. We find our starting point. We drag it down. And just like that, we now see what happened during the COVID-19 crash. A negative 38% down move that lasted 27 bars in only 40 days. Absolutely historic crash, and we can measure that and study that by using these tools. And it takes no longer than 10 seconds to select the tool, pick a starting point, pick an ending point, and start studying the data. So that's how these tools can be used. And if you recall, prediction and measurement tools, click to open the menu, and then have some fun. Take advantage of these tools, study the assets that you're interested in, get to know them better. How volatile are they? How much time goes by between specific down moves and up moves? When it trades sideways, how long does that normally last? Study that price action, and that will help immensely. Additionally, as just one more quick little tip is, if you're someone who's interested in learning more about drawdowns and corrections, because drawdowns and corrections always happen. Nothing just goes straight up without any, drawdown, correction, bear market. There's always going to be this sort of corrective nature, up, down, up, down. Or conversely, if it's in a bear market, it will be going just down with some little up moves, but continually trending down. And what you can do is you can take your date and price range tool and go back in time. In this example, if you look, we're at 2016, and you can start to study, and you can mark them on your chart so that you always know when they happened, the date range, the time period, and when it happens again, you'll be ready. Why will you be ready? Because on your chart now, when we zoom out, let's just see, for example, we'll draw some more. We'll do this one as well, COVID-19. We'll do this one as well. This was a really big drawdown as well. That was 2019. And here's another really big drawdown. And the point is that now, as you mark down all these corrections, drawdowns, time periods, when it happens again, you'll know, because you can now open up your chart and quickly see facts about them. And if the market, say, were to spill over from here, the benefit is you already have marked out and drawn out the data and saved it. So we can click this save button. Why don't we actually rename this to let's do drawdown chart, hit save, and this is our drawdown chart. And now every time we come to this chart, we can see some major drawdowns and some stats about them. Let's finish this up. And that is essentially one way you could use this tool. But remember, it's limitless. It's up to you and whatever you need to study. So it's highly recommended that you get to know these tools because of the data they provide and how easy they are to use. And of course, one last quick tip here is double click on these tools to customize them. That includes their label background. So because this is a drawdown, maybe red. The label itself. So what font do you want it? How large do you want the font? So we could even make this a little smaller so it fits the chart better. A border, so you can even add a border to the exact drawing. And then of course the line color, and that's going to be the line color in between. But for now, we can actually just keep this line color disappeared. And you can also make sure its coordinates are exact, so you could do the price bar, which is the start of it. So you could make it exact, and then price bar number 2, make it exact. And that's so you can get perfect measurements depending on what you're looking for. And that is the prediction and measurement tools of date range, price range, and date and price range. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.